It's natural to want to bring the beauty of the garden indoors, and making a bouquet is a fun and easy way to do that. If you've never made a floral arrangement, no worries. Grab your pruners, your imagination, and let's find some floral inspiration. Flower arrangements make a statement. Whether composed of a single blossom or many, flowers send a signal that you care about the details and flourishes that make a house a home. For guests, flowers are a welcoming signal that you consider their company special. For those who like to entertain, flowers are another creative way to play on a theme, set the mood, and complement lovely food. And a homegrown bouquet makes a thoughtful gift, one that you can even compost when you're done with it. You don't need much to make a bouquet. Just a sharp pruner or even a scissors will do in a pinch. A bucket full of water to collect your flowers, and then something to display it in. You don't even need to own a single vase. You can use a mason jar or a water glass or even wash out a wine bottle. I use the hand pruner for cutting larger diameter stems, and the snip for tender, slender leaves and stems. And with these things in hand, I'm ready to go out into Peg's garden and find some inspiration. What kinds of plants are good for arrangements? Well, I guess the answer is, what do you got? I like to go out into the garden and look for different colors and foliage textures and just find some inspiration. Peg's garden is full of beautiful rhodies and azaleas, and just one flower cluster, called a truss, can make a bouquet all on its own. It allows you to appreciate each individual floret up close and personal. Now we just have to find some colorful foliage to go with it, and voila, instant bouquet. Early morning when it's still cool is the best time to cut flowers. Try to cut a long stem from the plant if you can. You can always cut it shorter when it's time to put it in the vase. Some flowers last a long time, others just a day or two, but that's okay. That's gardening. Enjoy it while it lasts. Get some flowers on your windowsill that maybe have a punch of color or fragrance, and enjoy. Flowers don't have to be in full bloom to look nice in a vase. When you think about the flower buds of roses, consider some of the plants in your garden and experiment with what will unfurl gradually in a vase, lasting longer. Spent flowers can be just as decorative as a full bloom. One of the plants I love for that are hellebores. They look great from start to finish. They change colors as the ovules swell and the seed starts to form. I also have in this arrangement the seed pods of pulsatilla or pasque flower. That additional texture and shape is very pleasing in an arrangement. I grow flowers just for cutting, but if you don't have a lot of flowers in your garden, you can always buy some stems and build around them using what you do have. We have wonderful flower growers locally who sell their flowers at the farmers markets during season. So go out and check out what you can find locally, because the stems are going to be fresher, usually cut just the day before, so they'll last longer. And they'll have a smaller carbon footprint than some of our store-bought flowers, which are shipped to us from across the globe. The international floral trade relies on wild-collected native plants from the Pacific Northwest for the green component to commercial bouquets. So how lucky are we that we have sword ferns, salal, huckleberry in our gardens, or maybe your neighbor does. And I'll tell you what, they make the most beautiful bouquet. This bouquet doesn't need any flowers to be beautiful. All the greens can stand on their own. And who says that greens are only good for winter arrangements? A handful of leaves from ornamental grasses make a fun linear component to a bouquet. I especially like yucca and sedges, and one of my favorites is this beautiful forest grass. It's so graceful in a vase. Leaves that are big or patterned or colorful are wonderful in a vase. This hosta beautifully sets off the more delicate flowers. And in this vase, we have these colorful heuchera leaves, which really pull out the deep colors in the iris. I have a selection of vases that I've purchased, mostly secondhand. I'm a sucker for little vases and pitchers and even shot glasses. But you can always slip a ho-hum vase or recycled jar into a tin, or even use a decorative bag to add a unique touch. Florist bouquets from the store usually come with a packet of flower food. However, when you're making homegrown bouquets, you don't need any of that. It's more important to change the water every day. When you have an arrangement and that bacteria builds up, it will cause the plants to decline faster. Always recut your stems when you put them in the vase and you're making your arrangement. Cut the stems at a 45-degree angle because that clean cut is going to take up the most water, extending the life of the plant. And I will recut the stems just a little bit every day when I change the water. Commercial arrangements often come with floral foam to hold the flowers in place, but you won't need this, and it's not sustainable, so take a pass. If you have a shorter vase and heavier flowers, you can always use a piece of chicken wire to anchor it into the bottom. Or use some decorative rock, or even some beautiful gems that complement your flowers for good anchoring and spacing. You may have heard the terms balance, symmetry, or proportion, all potentially intimidating terms to describe the art of floral grouping. Never mind all of that. This is all about having fun and enjoying your garden and just working with what you have. Don't worry when it comes from your own garden that a spendy stem is going to get wasted or that something doesn't go together. Just enjoy it and bring the beauty of the garden indoors.